Hey guys, what's going on? It's a Block Bull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now today we're going to cover the charts as always. We're not going to look at any fundamental news or anything that's going on in the sort of mainstream media, what's unfolding at the moment. It's purely going to be concentrating on price action, guys. But we've had a few more sales. I know people were scared off with this sort of interim correction with XRP and XDC. Obviously we tanked from 64-65 cent down to almost 50 cent. However, we did hold strongly, so sales are starting to pick up again. So I just want to give you guys a big thank you for supporting the channel. If you do need a crypto plan, the link is in below in the description. So we've got the XDC plan and the XRP plan as well. So that is your tailored exit strategy to make sure that you secure generational wealth and you do not return all of your investments, all of the money that you make up in this upcoming super cycle back to the market. Now that is inevitable for me for a lot of retail traders, because a lot of retail traders will give back to the market what they do gain in this cycle. Now, before I forget, I do have a lot of subscribers, a lot of followers now, especially over on X. I'm up at over 7,000 followers. So I do still a fairly small channel in terms of, following, which gives me the opportunity to help you guys out that do request certain cryptos in the market. For example, in the previous comment section, we did have one particular guy shouting for VRA, which is Verasity. Now, I was invested in Verasity in the previous bull market, but I did sell out of my bag. However, VRA have got this is a protocol and product layer platform for esports and video entertainment. So they have it's the only patented protocol on the blockchain. So I'll focus on this and nothing else. And for those doubting VRA, be sure to know opportunities wait for nobody, and certainly it will not wait for you. Jump in the ride or miss it. It's that simple. I do agree with this particular tweet. Again, this was from previous bull market, but nothing's changed. We do have the patent. So Veracity is almost, it's an entertainment sort of protocol. So they do have the patent to verify viewership. So, for example, when you're on YouTube and, certain these big accounts get millions of views, Veracity will automate the verification process, and that is what the patent is for. So it actually verifies how many viewers we do get. So whether that be on like YouTube, or whether it be on an audio book, or whether it be, on some sort of other form of entertainment platform, that is what Veracity does. So it's a very, in my view, video content is the king of marketing, and with any business, there needs to be some form of marketing in order to get your sort of brand name out there. Now, Veracity, if we come over to the charts, is looking phenomenal in my view. Now, you can see here, I've already marked it out quickly before I actually come onto the channel to video this video for you today, guys. Now, I've literally just highlighted areas of significance. I've started with inception on this particular exchange. We're going back to December of 2019. You can see, if you follow the cursor down here on the screen, and then we do come up, so you can see the areas of interaction there, how we're actually using this trend line as an area of supply and demand, flipping support into resistance and vice versa. You can see how we actually strike through price action here. Again, the first sort of interaction after this significant price drop, we do get a bounce here. So again, you can see how it actually interacts with the price. And then again, we're marking the sort of local high there. This is in March of 24. And then again, so all we had to do, when I like to draw these sort of trend lines in, I do like to duplicate them. The reason being is that we can get some perfect parallel channels going on here. Now you can see with the parallel channels, the next one that I've drawn in here, you can see how this interacts nicely with this sort of price action. You could argue we could bring it down there, because we do get this sort of, once we do get the break, we hit resistance again. And again, you can see this wick here. If I scroll in, before we lose that particular key level, before we then roll into the bear market. Okay, and again with the tops, these have all been duplicated from this initial line here. So this is working out perfectly. So these sort of three trend lines are key levels of observation. Obviously, depending on how far along the cycle goes, we will be increasing gains. So the fact that it's actually delayed gratification with the gains is good news for us. So you can see here the sort of first sort of target, in my opinion, is obviously we're not going to go vertical straight out the traps. Again, I am expecting altcoin season to really get going after the US elections. We're looking at around 25th of November before altcoins get going. That's not to say we're going to do a parabolic move of like this sort of range, 800-900 100%, maybe even 1,000% returns. We do expect it to play over weeks, and then going into 25, that is when we will see some decent gains. So I would expect by sort of end of Q1, Q2 of next year, I do expect us to be up at this second sort of trend line there. So that for me is almost like a guaranteed 50x on VRA. So I'm glad someone actually commented down below, because you're actually helping me out as an individual, as an investor, because like I say, I was invested back in the day, and I've never even thought to revisit Verasity, because I was pretty content with like my XRP XDC, and then I've got obviously some sort of gaming coins as well to ride that narrative as a first, like a first mover, if you will, with like Gala, Velo, etc. So I believe we could do a 50x by the end of like Q1, Q2, maybe mid Q2. Looking at April, May time before we do reach these sort of targets, going up into we could even go a little bit higher as well, because if we actually do drag the cursor out here to sort of April time, we're looking at near enough 6,000% return. So that to me is a realistic sort of price target to go for. And obviously we're up at all-time highs here, so I wouldn't put that out of the realm of possibilities for Veracity. So I just want to thank you guys for commenting in the notes section, because I'm really strongly looking at Veracity now as an investment as well. So it looks like I'm going to have to reconfigure my portfolio in order to accommodate for VRA. Now, I was staking back in the day, so there's a lot of money to be made on staking returns as well with Veracity as well. So stake some of your VRA and you can make some passive income as well. So if you've got a lot of money to invest, it is a fantastic opportunity. Then if we drag it all the way up to the top, again, we could play out towards the sort of midway through 25, depending on how far you want to get. And you can see the figures up here. These are just forecasts, guys, so these aren't guaranteed, but certainly I believe this sort of second trend line is guaranteed. 50x is more than 60x is more than enough. I'd be well happy if we got that sort of return. And then this is just a Brucey bonus. If we're getting up close to like 50,000% return, is that like 500x, is it? Let's get the calculator out. So, for example, let's just say we chuck in $5,000. I'm going to click the C just to make sure that we haven't got anything going on in the background. So, say $5,000 plus, let's just be conservative and say 48,000%. So that's what you'd make plus your initial as well. So from a $5,000 investment, you're looking at $2.4 million towards the end of the cycle, in my opinion. So this is this could be one that I could add into the mix, guys. So that is VRA. Now, a second one that someone requested is XLM, Stellar Lumens. And the reason I don't cover Stellar Lumens so much is I've always said that my exposure to XLM is through Velo, which is built upon Stellar. Okay, so Velo to me will have better returns, but similarly to XRP, we have been playing out in sort of a range here, where the range for XRP is approximately 42 cents to about 73 cents, 74 cents. XLM is doing something similar here. So this particular range here is about 7.5 cents all the way up to about, I'd say, 10, 11 cents. So that's like the range. So once we break out this sort of order block, in my opinion, we'll have to start targeting these higher order blocks here. So you've got this order block here, then there's another area of significance up here around 22 to 24 cent. Another order block up here between 36 cent, 44 cent, and then you're breaching all-time highs. Then that's when you go into price discovery. So that's when we'd start targeting like Fibonacci levels. So we can quickly plot in Fibonacci levels. So top of fibs there, you can see where my yellow cursor, well, this yellow horizontal line coming in here. So that's stipulating around $3.11. However, I do expect to exceed Fibonacci's in this super cycle as well. That would just be an ordinary cycle. I do believe XLM will go a lot higher. Okay, guys. So again, you could take partial profits, just over $3. And then I'd recommend, like, I want to be banking unrealized profits. Just because they look pretty in your portfolio doesn't mean it's going to be in your back pocket ready to, spend ultimately. So I probably will be looking at taking, I'd say 20 to 30% top of fibs. That's across most cryptos. Okay, obviously I've not looked into XLM in depth, me personally. However, with XRP and XDC, I have done, which is why I've done the plans there. So obviously I've got a lot more sort of room to sort of maneuver, and I know the exact project and the exact sort of key dates that I need to be cashing out of these two assets. Okay, so that is where the sort of money is in my view. Where was I now? Let's get back to XLM. So yeah, XLM can fly. Now what we'll do is we'll wrap up with XRP, but I just want to highlight quickly before we do so, Bitcoin is continuing to break above this 7-month sort of accumulation structure now. So we are breaking out now. Now it does look like Bitcoin will get that close above this white trend line, which is marking out the tops. Once that weekly close goes in this weekend, guys, best believe Bitcoin will lead the sort of crypto. Obviously, we're looking at close to 60% market dominance now with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is over half of what crypto total market cap is worth, which is absolutely phenomenal. Again, we can play around with this sort of fractal as well. So I am trying to catch sort of impulse 1 and 2, and that way we can better project and forecast wave 3, 4, 5 going on as well, which is why it's important to make sure you're liking and subscribing to the channel, because it keeps the channel going. I'm literally earning next to nothing shooting on YouTube. I think I earn like 2 or 3 quid, believe it or not. So you don't earn a lot from crypto, and it's like I'm putting my face out there. Do you know what I mean? It's not exactly the best thing to do, especially when you're invested in crypto, because really you want to make your money and get out of the market. It's a little bit like boxing or any other sort of dangerous sport. It's a dangerous game, so you want to get in, get out. So it's very difficult to build a personal brand upon, volatile markets like this. So yeah, just help the channel out best you can, guys. If you do really want to help the channel out, obviously think about accessing and purchasing a plan there. That will obviously return you in good stead as well, because that to me will reward anybody handsomely come the end of the cycle, which I believe everybody needs an exit strategy, because without an exit strategy, you will lose all your money again. So that's Bitcoin. Let's get over to XRP now. Where are you? Okay, so XRP here. XRP looks to be breaking out. Now I'm going to go over to the daily, just because we can get a better view of what's going on here. So we've talked about this green order block down here. So this is like the range. Okay. You could account for these 2 candles down here, but for me, it is a very tight range. Now, XRP broke out initially here with this green candle, retested, and we're taking a lot of liquidity. We've bounced back up, and we're toying with the idea of running up. Now, I believe XRP has successfully retested and taken liquidity out of this order block here. So in my view, there's a massive fair value gap here. So we're at least going to get up to this order block here, where we get this change of character, where we break structure here. So that's at least a 5-6% increase to about 57-58 cents, in my opinion. Yes, it doesn't sound like massive gains. However, this is where the next order block is up here, and this is where the macro trend line is coming in. So I do expect us to hit this blue trend line, which is trading about 62 cents. And now I have talked in the past about getting up to these sort of local highs here. Again, we've got a strong high there, so we could take liquidity from this sort of strong high, which is around 74 cents, before we then roll over after the US elections. And then again, following the XRP plan, we do have a breakout, I would say 35, 36 weeks after the Bitcoin halving would put us at the end of the year. So we're looking at any point after the sort of 23rd of December, in my view, probably after Christmas. Like I said, I don't feel like they'll want investors in the XRP sort of community actually discussing with family members how much they're making from XRP before ultimately exploding, because it'll just enable everybody else, all the stragglers, to actually on board and actually get in at an optimum time. They're not going to allow that. So I would imagine after Christmas, and certainly in a new year, whether it be a new month, new week, new year, you usually get a big move. Obviously, the bigger the time frame, the bigger the move, which I expect. So yeah, 35, 36 weeks, we will jet set and we will get to market. Now, double digits is inevitable for XRP. So you're at least going to 20x your bag pretty much from this particular price action if you are accumulating. But do expect pump and dumps, expect a pinball towards the end of the year. And then again, this is when we will be looking to collect money at some point next year. Again, can't give you specific dates because be unfair with everyone that has purchased the plans. But guys, yeah, I'm going to wrap it up right there, guys. I've been the Block Bull. Until next time, I shall see you later. Block Bull.